Given the recent loose focus on 80s animation, this video's subject is 1988's less discussed, polarising Disney release, Oliver and Company, the tale of a kitten's parallel interactions with the debt-ridden Fagin's gang of thieving dogs, hounded by the malevolent Mr. Sykes, and the lonely rich girl our feline hero bonds with. As the familiar names imply, it's a loose, sanitised and modernised adaptation of Charles Dickens' novel Oliver Twist, situated in 80s New York and starring talking animals voiced by contemporary celebrities, as is the case with Dickens' novel. It's a liberal retelling. The dog, loosely based on Nancy, never interacts with the human Bill Sykes equivalent, thereby severing the relationship between their literary counterparts, since Disney would never display an interspecies romance. Yeah, except for those. The unshamedly modern setting introduces a realised sense of place. The franticness, danger, eccentricity, compassion, and musicality of a major city is proudly communicated in a sea of vivid, colourful, extremely pleasant, stylised scenery and expressive character movement displayed as early as the first scene, which, with its melancholy premise and escalating peril, is among the most engrossing and emotionally rich openings in Disney animation, assisted by its accompaniment of Huey Lewis's melodic, passionate performance of Once Upon a Time in New York City. On the subject of music, the later Why Should I Worry, which I in extremely early life thought was called Catch It Up Away, whatever that means, is an equally strong number. Joyous, rhythmic and powerful, a tone that's partially revived in Streets of Gold, while Perfect Isn't Easy offers a more theatrical approach. The varied music is indicative of the wide cast. That includes Joey Lawrence as the plausibly naive, innocent, yet assertive Oliver, Billy Joel channeling cunning, confidence and charisma as New York's coolest quadruped, in a capable performance that surprised me since I hadn't seen it for the longest time. Bette Midler as the humorously conceited Georgette, Cheech Marin as the excitable Tito, Roscoe Lee Brown as the eloquent Francis, Dom DeLuise as the convincingly desperate, pitiful Fagin, and Robert Loggia as the genuinely intimidating Sykes. The story flows organically, capably blending its darker elements of crime and poverty with its more idealistic passages, thanks to its consistent, authentic energy, eclectic, slapstick, sarcastic humour, and occasional quiet tenderness, culminating in a brilliantly exciting, tense, playful finale and a rewarding conclusion. Oliver and Company's imperfections, however, are undeniable. The short length results in limited characterization. Some supporting characters are unnecessary, and while Fagin shows clear nuance, even he's offered ignored opportunities for further depth. Faint indications of his past would essentially erase this issue. A point raised by Trent of Not Your Normal Guy in his own Oliver and Company video, without which I may have never revisited this film. I'd appreciate a 3-hour-long sequence of Fagin buying his numerous watches. I can't relate to him otherwise. Essentially, the film never allows itself enough time to fully utilise its greatness. Viewers less captivated than I was by the artwork, voice acting, humour, creativity and tonal balance would likely believe the film to be average or even unenjoyable due to its rushed restrictiveness. The aforementioned Trent is undoubtedly among the film's detractors. While in my early childhood this film was frequently watched on VHS, any nostalgic emotions were ignored in favour of newly formed opinions. Oliver and Company is hereby rewarded a fairly predictable 8 out of 10. Please acknowledge all scores are based entirely on personal enjoyment and may change at a later date. It may lack the progressive significance of other Disney works, but its modest charm, courtesy of soundtrack, enjoyable performances, and impressive visuals, cause it to become as entertaining as several more innovative Disney works, deserving a degree of respect it rarely receives. According to several video essays, its initial box office success ignited further demand for animation, leading directly to the Renaissance in 1300. Wow, Little Mermaid was ahead of its time. Side note, my previous video mentioned Frank Welker, who's known for voicing animals. He appears in this animal-centric feature, voicing a human. Audiences are advised to divorce themselves from their personal favourite Disney films and view this in isolation as the simple, brief, wholesome adventure it was intended as, to gain full potential satisfaction. To anyone who somehow deems my review unfair, fears are for tourists. Consider this a free lesson in street savoir-faire. Thanks for watching my video on Oliver and Company, and if I don't see you next time, I'll assume you're either tirelessly googling a song entitled Catch It Up Away, or you're analysing the rhythm of the city, but once you get it down, you can own this town, you can wear the crown. Why should I worry? Tell me now, why should I care? I may not have a dime, but I got streets of warfare. Woo, woo, yeah, woo, woo.